Okay, I think we are live. So this is our first weekly live stream in a couple of weeks. Fridays have been busy, so Saturday is kind of a better fit for me. I'll see if any of you join and I'll determine whether this is a good spot or not. But the good news is I have a ton of new pickups. It's been a while since I've kind of had a backlog of new fragrances that I just kind of need to get to make videos about. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm going to show here. I've got stuff coming in over the next couple days. So it's been a good few weeks for fragrances. There's a month or two there where there wasn't a lot coming out that I was really excited about, but again, some of the stuff that I'm going to show you in this video is awesome. Some of the fragrances that are being cloned that haven't been as commonly cloned, and just some really high-end takes on some great fragrances for not a lot of money. So anyway, what I want to do is run through some of these new pickups. I don't know how many I'll get through, but what I typically do on the live stream is I'll take a fragrance, I'll talk about that for a little while, and then we'll do Q&A, and I'll interact with you in the chat. So do me a favor, go ahead, like the video, comment, and that will help the algorithm to know we're here so that other people can join us. And we'll see. My first Saturday live stream, if a lot of people join, I'll keep doing them, and if not, then we'll go back to Friday. So, all right, so the couple ones I want to mention first, these actually came from Joma Shop. I am very, very impressed. I'd never actually heard of these. I know the brand, but so this is from Maison Alhambra. This is Faris Al Arab. And there's another one, same box, similar bottle. And this one is Maison Alhambra Muharib. And they both have, like, I don't know if anybody remembers Shinobi. I think they actually came out with a new Shinobi game in the past year or so. But whenever I was a kid, you know, Sega had the Shinobi arcade games. And so these are officially the Shinobi fragrances right here. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, the fragrances are phenomenal. I want to tell you what they are a clone of. I have links to them down below, of course. I see some of you are jumping in now and commenting. We've got Chuelo. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing. Give me a phonetic spelling down below and I'll say it right. He says, ahoy there. We've got the Banana Burglar, excited for the stream. We've got Al Malik. I want to know about Liquid Brune. And yeah, Liquid Brune's phenomenal. I'm not really going to feature it in this video, but it is definitely one of my favorite dupes for Parfums de Marly Wajan. It's really good, and the longer it sits, the better it gets. So it is actually really good. But thank you for joining. The rest of you, comment, ask questions. If you want to know about a particular fragrance, good chance I might have it, or I can give recommendations and all that. But let's talk about these two. So these two right here are phenomenal. I do get them mixed up, which is which, because they are each an alternative to one of my favorite fragrances. So I think this one, yeah, all right. So this one right here, Faris Al Arab, is probably the best, I think that's accurate, the best alternative to, I'm blanking now. Hold on a second, I'll come back to that one. It just went right out of my head, and then I'll tell you about this one as well. I'll start with this one because I'm blanking on the other one. So this one's actually an alternative to Xerjoff Naxos, and I don't know how many of you remember whenever the only alternative for Xerjoff Naxos was this one right here, Bogart Pour Homme, which is actually really good, but it's sort of like a barber shop kind of shaving cream fragrance layered on top of a really good Naxos alternative. I wonder if this one came out first. I don't know which one came out first. And then, of course, Paris Corner came out with this one, which is also a really good alternative to Naxos. This is Vue Elegante, but it is a little more powdery, a little sweeter. Not quite as aromatic, but it's still really good. It's probably in that like 80-85% accurate. This one is, it's not a one-to-one. It is still a twist on Xerjoff Naxos, but it's actually really good. It starts out with powerful aromatics. I would say a little bit more so than Naxos does, but within like 10 minutes, that calms down a little bit and you get one of the richest, strongest interpretations of Naxos that I think you can get a hold of now. It is phenomenal. In case you're not familiar with this, it is it's a almost like spring and even to some degree summer, not so much, but spring, fall tobacco fragrance. It's not as overpoweringly sweet or dark as a lot of tobacco fragrances are. I'm talking about the original Naxos. And this one captures Naxos with incredible quality. Like, again, it's a little more lavender off of the top, but it starts to dry down and you get like this warm golden tobacco. This one has a little bit of like an incensiness or a smokiness as well, almost like, you know, a smoky tobacco. It is a phenomenal alternative to Naxos. I would say it's maybe a little stronger than Naxos. Naxos is a lighter tobacco fragrance. This one's probably a little bit heavier, and that few minutes of extra aromatics on the top and just a little bit more of a smokiness set it apart from Naxos, but I think it's a phenomenal twist. Again, this is Maison Alhambra Muharib, and phenomenal, phenomenal good stuff. All right, let me hit a couple of your comments, and I'll go back to that one that I forgot what it is an alternative to, because I remembered now. I just blanked for a second. IB674H says, is your entire identity perfume? No, definitely not. My entire identity is I am a husband, I'm a father, I am a son of God, I am a business owner, lots of other things that I do and am. I just love the hobby. It's a lot of fun, so I dig it. Definitely not my identity though. All right, we've got EDU saying Vulcan Fue is the same, takes a while to maturate. Yes, most Middle Eastern fragrances, and to be honest, a lot of designer and niche, maybe all of them honestly, change over time. I think the Middle Eastern ones change more over time just because they are being mass produced at a low cost. And so they just kind of produce them, bottle them, and get them out the door as quick as they can. Whereas some higher end fragrances, it's a much slower process, and they're using higher quality oils that don't take as long to break down in the perfumer's alcohol and all of that. So it varies, but I would say Middle Eastern fragrances do mature or change the most over time, and they do phenomenally well. Hit a couple of your others here. Have you tried the new Fragrance World Cole? Meant to be a good clone of Black Lacquer. No, thank you for telling me about that. If you know where to get that, if you could drop me a link, like I'll probably buy it today. I love Black Lacquer. I've got several clones. I've got 3. I've got Generic Perfumes, Fragbar, and Dupe. But none of the big brands like Fragrance World, if they're doing a dupe of Black Lacquer now, I think that's amazing. I think it's a very under the radar Tom Ford fragrance. If you like sweet, spicy fragrances, then it is definitely worth at least trying it. It's one of my favorite DNAs of the past several years. So thank you for telling me that. Drop me a link if you know where I can get it. Rashad says, have I ever tried Platine Blank? I haven't. Is that Aromatics fragrance? I think it is, the Mojito one. If that is that fragrance, then I haven't tried it. I did actually almost buy it, I think last week or the week before, but you know, I live in the Southeast US. It's starting to get cooler. Fall is coming, and I'm not going to get a ton of use out of that. And on my channel, my audience tends to watch things seasonally. So if I were to release like a bunch of freshies today, it would get half as many views as a video on stuff like these. because these are much darker, sweeter, more kind of fall, winter appropriate. So I don't have that one. All right, let me hit a couple more fragrances, then we'll go back and forth on the comments. So anyway, this one that I blanked on, Faris Al Arab, is a very good Clive Christian Blonde Amber dupe. I think it's the best one that I have seen anyway. I would say that Fragbar's is as good, maybe even just a touch better. Per milliliter, Fragbar's is probably more expensive. But the big thing about Fragbar is they're no longer shipping to the US. And so if you're in the US, you're kind of out of luck. I have some other alternatives to Blonde Amber. Probably the one that is most readily available is this one, Art of Arabia 3. And it's pretty good, but it's like 80% similar to Blonde Amber. It's not as spicy. I don't even know if they list any spices. They don't list ginger in the note breakdown. It does have a little bit of spice, but it is more, you know, amber focused than necessarily like sweet, spicy amber, which is what I think Blonde Amber should be. Nevertheless, it's still a great scent. It's still got that mysterious patchouli and all that. This one, though, nails it. I mean, this is like, I don't know, 90% accurate or something like that. It's very, very good. And of the clones that I have, this would be my top recommendation because generic perfumes is good, but again, price per milliliter, it's going to cost more. Dua is good. It's going to cost more. Fragbar is very good, but it's hard to get now. So if you want a killer Blonde Amber dupe, this is it right here, Faris Al Arab. It's got really good performance too, easily in that 8+ hour range. So anyway, these two, Shinobi 1 and Shinobi 2, are really good. You've got the Xerjoff Naxos alternative and the Blonde Amber alternative. They are actually Maison Alhambra, not Sega or Shinobi, but really good stuff. Highly recommended. All right, Eric says, I've got to get these. Yep, I hear you. I think I have links down below. They're on Joma Shop, and you know, they've usually got good pricing. Have you heard of YSL Pour Homme? It's really good. YSL Pour Homme, I don't know. I mean, I've got their standard, you know, I've got their blue fragrances, I've got their spicy fragrances, but I don't think I've tried Pour Homme. So I'll have to look into that. Jerson says, I have like chocolate smeal. I don't know what that is. Banana Burglar says, the black one is a clone of Clive Christian Art Deco. Are you talking about the fragrance world? I don't know what you're talking about, the black one. All right, we've got McAster, been looking for coal here in the US, but no luck. Okay, so that is the unfortunate thing about fragrance world fragrances. It's the same with Armaf, Lattafa. A lot of the time they will release overseas, Europe or the Middle East, and it's often 3 to 6 months before it comes here. But I will definitely keep a lookout for the clone of black lacquer that you're talking about. That's really cool. I will tell you that Dua's, I think, is actually better than the Tom Ford. It performs better without question, if I can find it. Oh, I think I have it in the other room. But anyway, the dupes I've tried of black lacquer, I think perform a little better than the original. The original is a masterpiece. I've only tried it a couple times though, and it had like good performance, but not monster performance. And that kind of a DNA, you can actually get monster performance out of those kind of notes. All right, David says, I'm in the UK, so I wouldn't have a link for the States for coal. It's available in the UK. Okay, gotcha. It's in Europe, not here yet. He said he just ordered a bottle. Well, let me know, let me know if it's any good. I doubt I'll pay overseas shipping for it, but I'll definitely watch for whenever it comes here. So Platine Blank, I don't have. To answer your question, Rashad, I don't have it. It looks great. I mean, I think that's the one that's supposed to smell like a mojito, but I have not picked it up. And I don't know when I will. If I see it for cheap, I might. But it being a freshie, it's going to be a good 6 months before I could, before I would regularly wear that here, because it's starting to cool off where I live. It's like 74 degrees today, a high of 74 Fahrenheit today. So, all right, David K says, have you tried Mysterious Amber by Maison Alhambra? Looked like a good pickup. No, I couldn't find it. Again, if you find a link for that one, then drop it for me, because I think that that's their Blonde Amber dupe. Last time I looked, which was probably a month or two ago, I couldn't find it, but maybe it's available now. So, all right, let me show you a couple more fragrances. Edu says, I'm going to buy these just for the bottles. Yeah, the bottles are pretty sick. I mean, they do look very cool. And obviously, I'm joking about Shinobi, but, you know, if you grew up in the 90s, then they definitely have some valuable nostalgia, some numismatic value, as they say. So, all right, this next one is very, very good as well. To me, one of the best Parfums de Marly fragrances, period, is Wajan. It's definitely one of my favorites. It is the most cinnamon-forward DNA that I think I've probably ever smelled, and I love cinnamon. I love sweet, spicy fragrances, and Wajan is just like, you know, the ultimate, like, spicy cinnamon apple pie kind of fragrance. And up until now, the only good option that I knew of was Legion by Fragrance World. And it's fantastic. I absolutely love this fragrance. I've probably used a third of the bottle. One of my favorite fall and winter fragrances, period. But now, from Nusuk, which is the same brand that does like the Riffs fragrances, R-I-F-F-S. This is from Nusuk. This is their take on Wajan. They actually did a really good job. It's called Fawa Midnight Edition. It's the only one I couldn't find a link for. There's some eBay sellers that I saw were selling it, but I've been burned so many times buying from eBay. Like, I would say a good 50% of the fragrances I've bought on eBay have been fakes. So I try to stick to either retailers that I know, or I do buy on Amazon some, but only from sellers that I know. So anyway, this one is fire. I hope it pops up on Amazon or, you know, Joma Shop, Fragrance Buy, any of those places. Get it, because it is awesome. Very, very good. I would say the only thing that differs between these two, Legion and Fawa Midnight Edition, this one currently is a little more expensive because I think it's newer. And I would say this one might be just a little bit, I don't even know if that's true. I better do side by side. I was going to say it might be a little bit stronger, but I've also had my bottle for like a couple years, or at least a year and a half. So that's probably why it's stronger. It's such a gorgeous fragrance. It literally smells like a cinnamon liqueur, something like that. Like Fireball whiskey or something, if you've ever smelled that. Let's see. Yeah, they are so close. I don't even know that I could recommend one over the other. They are both awesome. I would say if you don't have Wajan, you like spicy fragrances, you know, get one or the other of these. They are just amazing. They have like a real wow factor, kind of like Blonde Amber does. You know, that DNA is just like, what is that? You know, these have the exact same kind of effect. Powerful, sweet, spicy, even mass-pleasing. They're kind of like a gourmand, kind of like a dessert. All right, what else we got here? Feel free to leave questions and comments. Okay, we don't have anything new yet. So somebody's saying they love Nusuk Midnight. Yeah, Fawa Midnight Edition, really, really good stuff. And definitely will wear that a lot. All right, let's see what else we got. Now, this one came out in 2025, and I saw a few people mention something about it, and then I kind of forgot about it. I might have even seen it before it came out, like on one of the websites that talks about upcoming fragrances. But then I forgot about it until it popped up on Amazon a couple weeks ago. But this fragrance right here, Tobac and Coke. Now, like, if this truly was a tobacco and Coca-Cola fragrance, then I am like sold immediately. You know, I love tobacco fragrances, and I love anything that smells like cola, root beer, etc. And I just picked this one up. It's really cheap on Amazon right now. I think I paid less than $30 for it. Tobac and Coke by Fragrance World. It is immediately one of my favorite pickups of the year. It is phenomenal. I did a video about it this week, and I don't often do single fragrance videos unless it's a brand new fragrance, because a lot of the time you guys don't watch them that much. And so it's a lot of work to do one if it's not going to perform well. So I typically don't, but this fragrance was so good that I thought, man, it is totally worth it. I wanted, to be honest, I wanted any of you who like this style of fragrance to know about it, because this is absolutely phenomenal. So the way that it smells, let me know in the chat if you've tried it. It's kind of like, there's a good portion of Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. There's definitely some of that aspect in the fragrance, like a good 70% Tobacco Vanille. It's a powerfully sweet, very rich tobacco, like that kind of sticky tobacco note, kind of like if you've ever smelled Fort and Manley Late Harvest, which is one of the most amazing cherry tobacco fragrances in the world. I mean, I love this stuff. It has this very kind of realistic, sticky, sweet tobacco note with cherry. It's amazing. I need to actually wear this. Maybe I'll wear it today. But anyway, this has a similar kind of sticky, sweet tobacco, not as high quality. The Fort and Manley is like a $300 fragrance or something at retail, but it has the same kind of tobacco note, and then it's got the same spice profile as Tobacco Vanille. So you've got like that, you know, pepper, licorice, clove, cinnamon, probably nutmeg, like those strong, warm, spiky spice notes. And then you've got just a bucket load of what smells exactly like Coca-Cola. I had family visiting last weekend, and I walked by my sister on the deck. I was building a campfire. It was one of my kids' birthday, and so we had family in town. And she was sitting out on my back deck, so whenever I walked out and walked past her, she said, "You smell exactly like Coca-Cola." And I didn't ask her, like, "Hey, what do you think I smell like?" She just caught the fragrance cloud as I walked by and said, "You smell exactly like Coca-Cola," which it does, but it's like 30% Coca-Cola and like, you know, 30% something like, and 70% something like Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. But very, very good stuff. I mean, to me, this is one that deserves to blow up to the level of something like Liquid Brune. I think the only reason it doesn't is because it's not cloning anything. It's not, you know, this one blew up because it was like the first good clone of a brand new Parfums de Marly fragrance. That's why it blew up. But as far as like how attractive something is and like how much people would like it, this is absolutely on the same level. There's not much offensive about it unless you don't like spicy fragrances or unless you don't like Coke. You know, so it's really, really good. All right, let's see here. What else we got? EJ is asking if I just called her the B word. I most certainly did not. I don't know what you're talking about. Dave J says, recently bought Nusuk Atik. It's a good clone of Naxos. Cool. Yeah, it's funny that just in the past 6 months or so, several brands have done a dupe of Naxos. The fragrance has been out a long time. I don't know, at least 6 or 7 years. I don't remember when it came out, but a long time. And for years, again, all we had was really, unless you went with Dua or Alexandra, all you had was like Bogart Pour Homme or like Paris Corner Vue Elegante. But now a bunch of brands are coming out with Naxos dupes, which is really cool because out of those two, Bogart Pour Homme and the Paris Corner, neither of them are awesome, you know. Whereas I would say that this one, the Maison Alhambra, is awesome. So really cool stuff. All right, I got another one here that's been blowing me away. One that, interestingly, this fragrance, one of you on a live stream called it to my attention because I think you knew that I love Spicebomb, and I hadn't picked this one up yet. So I finally got Spicebomb Metallic Musk. This one came out earlier this year. It's still full price retail. There is no smaller bottle option. Like most of the Spicebomb, they come out in full size and then they come out in the little size. But this one, as of yet, they don't have the, what is it? I think it's like 1.4 milliliter or something. It's a pretty small bottle. They only have full size. It's $155 plus tax and or shipping. And you can get discount codes and stuff on Victor and Rolf's website. But it's very expensive, you know, and I hate that designer houses are doing that now. Most of my niche fragrances, I didn't pay much more than 150, you know, maybe up to 200. So most new designer fragrances are now coming out at a price point that is pretty similar to new niche fragrances. Like Day 3, you know, they are a killer kind of smaller niche house, and I think their fragrances brand new are 160. And I would say they are higher quality than 98% of designer fragrances that are being released. And so I say all that to say, I actually love the fragrance. Like, it is incredible. It's, you know, I now have all of the Spicebomb fragrances. This is the only one that I missed, and it's in my top half of the line as far as my favorite goes. I really, really like it. It is, it's fresher in the sense that it has like a clean white musk. And so it has that kind of fabric softener freshness, almost semi-powdery. And it's got a little bit of a metallic vibe. It actually reminds me of like you took the original Spicebomb and you added like some ambroxan and white musk. That's really what it smells like. That metallic vibe plus that clean fabric softener kind of vibe really smells a lot like ambroxan. And so, you know, is it worth it for most people? Like if you've got 3 or 4 Spicebomb fragrances, is it worth it to pay full price for this? And I would have a hard time saying yes, just because it is 70% similar to a couple of the ones that already exist. I would say probably the original, maybe black leather, maybe even infrared EDT. Like all of these have a good similarity to metallic musk. For me, it was worth it, obviously, because I'm going to make videos about it and because I'm kind of a freak for Spicebomb fragrances. And I would say if you like have them all and you want, you know, to complete your collection, then it's fantastic. If you like the Spicebomb line, no one is going to have a complaint about this. It smells awesome. It actually performs really good as well. I've probably worn this more the past 2 weeks than anything. So I do love it. It is phenomenal. But it's so freaking expensive. If it comes down over the next 6 months to around $100, you know, maybe even 120, I would say much more reasonable. But I think I paid like $167 with tax, with free shipping. And that is kind of outrageous. Let me know your thoughts about that. How do you feel about all the designer houses raising their prices? I mean, you know, it's pretty insane. Another one of the lines that I buy all the fragrances is the Wanted fragrances. And this little thing, you know, it came out, I think, this year as well. And same deal, like for this little bottle, I think it was like 120 or something for the small size. And I don't know, I think it's a bit much. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. All right. Dave says, that was me that told you about Spicebomb Metallic Musk. Well, thank you, Dave. Yeah, man, I was on the hunt from the time you told me. I was trying to find it at a good price, but that doesn't exist as far as I can tell. Triton is asking, is Tobac and Coke worth it if I already have a Mirror Cherry Cola? Yeah, it's a lot different. I have a Mirror Cherry Cola as well, and I would say it's like 60-70% different because of that 70% of the fragrance that is much closer to Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. And so I love Cherry Cola. I mean, I've worn, it's probably one of my clones that I've worn the most of. Maybe not. I've worn about 1/3 of the bottle, but still, yeah, they're pretty different. This one's got powerful tobacco and powerful spiciness. At least 50% different than a mere cherry cola. All right, Ace of Tactics says, how good is Kion Classic? Kion Classic is remarkable. It is probably, of the ones I've tried, probably the closest Dior Homme Intense alternative. I would say if you want a good alternative for Dior Homme Intense, if you grab either of these, then you would be totally satisfied. They're both pretty close. They're both very close to the original, which I also have. It's just this one is probably closer to being one-on-one to the original Dior Homme Intense. This one has a little more iris, which is shocking because I think it's hard to do that fantasy iris note well on the cheap. But this one has even more of the lipsticky iris than Dior Homme Intense does. But both of them are awesome, and they're like 90% similar to each other. So either of them I would definitely recommend. All right, what else we got? Triton says, I remember I bought it because of your review. Oh, cool. The issue is I don't wear cherry cola often. Even though I love it, I rarely want to smell like Coke. Yeah, I hear you. It's a weird thing. It's like, you know, it's one of those fragrance notes that is fun, but you're not going to wear it to a formal event. You're probably not going to wear it to work. I work from home. I run a nonprofit and I do several other things. So 90% of the time I'm at home. So I wear all kinds of crazy crap, you know. But if you're in a professional setting or something, it's probably not going to fly. So I hear you. And this one is not much better in that regard. It's pretty sweet, pretty spicy. It smells awesome, but I hear you. You know, you don't want to load up your collection with stuff you're not going to be able to wear very often. David says, go with Kion. It's better to my nose, longer lasting, and smells 95% the same. Yeah, it's true. Whenever I got Kion Classic, it blew me away that it performed better than my bottle of Dior Homme Intense. So I do agree with that. It does perform better. Maybe hit one more, and I probably need to end the stream. I got to record some videos today, so if anybody else has anything, go ahead and post. Devin says, do you know anything about Daniel Josier? No, somebody asked me about them on my last live stream. It might have been you, but unfortunately I don't. I haven't. I didn't look him up, but I think you told me that he's kind of like a small batch niche perfumer. Devesh says, what is the best clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir? To be honest, I think the best clone as far as accuracy, it's Alexandria's. Like their dupe, and they often nail DNAs. Sometimes, you know, that's maybe about 50-50. They will nail a DNA, but their version of Sauvage Elixir is legitimately almost indistinguishable. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. I've seen other reviews that have said the same. But there's a bunch of decent ones now. You know, of course, there's Assad, which is cheap and not super close, but it's still pretty good. There's Armaf has one that, again, isn't like one for one, but it's inexpensive and it's pretty good. That's Art du Parfum. This is a cheap, decent clone of Sauvage Elixir. But again, if you want accuracy, you probably want to go with Alexandria. There's a couple that I don't have as well, but you know, once I get like 4 clones of a fragrance, I kind of stop buying them, unless it's something that's really popular that I want to get just because I want to do a video on it. All right, let's see. David K says the best clone is from Aaron Terrence Hughes. It's called Homme. Wow. Dior Intense on steroids, lasts forever. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that he had done an alternative to Dior Homme Intense. That's cool. I really like him. I like his videos. I need to get some of his fragrances. I can't believe I don't have any of his fragrances. Let's see. Triton says, I have no problem wearing Amore Cafe dupes. It's just Coke is too realistic. Yeah, totally. I hear you. All right, well, I think I need to wrap up for the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I do have links to the ones that I mentioned today, not counting the ones I grabbed off the shelf to talk about them. I've got links below. I found some pretty good prices. The only place I saw these was on Joma Shop, and they've got a really good price. These are like, several of the fragrances I've picked up lately, I'm just like freaking in love with, you know, like this one included. So check out the links. I've got a bunch of discount codes and stuff down below as well. But thank you. Have an amazing weekend, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.